Hello, Your Majesty? Please forgive me for disturbing you. It's me, Amy. I believe you called for me. At least that's what Hana told me. Whatever task you have for me, I will gladly see it through, whether it be cooking or cleaning or killing. Oh, there's no need to apologize to me, Your Majesty. Don't worry about the time. You can call for me as late as you want, at any time at all, even if it's as late as it is right now. Even if you were to wake me while I was having sweet dreams, my sweetest and only dream is to serve you. Even if I were to give every part of myself to you, down to my very life and soul, it would not be enough to pay your divine grace. You're the god of the shrine. It is due to your mere presence on this island that the crops grow and the rivers flow. Without you, the soil would be barren and the land dry. Sorry. I assume you didn't call me here just to have me praise and worship you. But if you did, I will definitely do so. It comes so natural to me after all. In fact, it's what I was doing right before you called me. So, what did you call me here for, Your Majesty? How may I serve you? Oh, well, what's there to know about little old me? I'm just an irrelevant, boring fox girl. The only interesting thing about me is that I have the great honor of being the servant of the most wonderful and esteemed god in the entire universe. That, of course, being you, Your Majesty. Yes, I do indeed have several. Well, I don't know if I'd call them hobbies. They're more like compulsions. I like to talk to Hana about you, if that counts. Sometimes I get a bit, jealous towards Hana. I get a bit jealous that I'm not the only girl to have the immense pleasure of being your servant. But Hana is a good girl who makes sure to understand her place, so I tolerate it, much to her benefit. Anyways, I do enjoy her company, though. It gives me a chance to fangirl over you. I tell her how grateful I am about the blessing you have given me, that I may see my God every day up close, that they remember me and even talks to me. I am not worthy to even gaze upon the ground that you have walked on. And to think you're even asking me about my hobbies. This is what I talked to Hana about. That you are such a great and merciful God, that you have a place for even lowly mortals such as myself in your heart. I am overwhelmed with guilt in your presence. Even for a god, you are divine. Your perfection is beyond my comprehension. And yet you show such great mercy in sharing your time with little old me. I will never forget this kindness. Yes, talking to Hana about you isn't the only one. My life is centered around you, not her. I also like to make clothes. Well, not just any clothes, though. I like to make the clothes that look like the ones that you wear. I hope you won't be angry with me, Your Majesty. But, I make copies of the kinds of clothes you wear, and I pretend that they are truly yours. That they are the very clothes that you wear. Then, and again, I hope you're not angry with me, Your Majesty. But I like to wrap them around myself. It's exhilarating to wrap myself up in the very same fabrics that you've touched. That you yourself have worn. Or, at least, that's what my pretend fantasy is. But don't worry. I never would do it with your actual clothes. I could never soil them in such a way. That would be sacrilege. I never do anything weird to your clothes when I'm cleaning them or handling them in any way. I always take extra care to thoroughly avoid inconveniencing you. Let's see. What else do I do as a hobby? Well, I like to keep myself presentable to you, Your Majesty. Or at least as presentable as a lowly mortal fox girl like myself can be. At the very least, I should try. And that's why I always groom myself so much. Especially my tail. Of course you can see my tail, Your Majesty. Here. It's, not much to look at. But I would never deny you of anything. Even if you asked me for everything, the food I eat, the roof over my head, the clothes off my back, I would gladly give it to you. Even my very life. You are the only being in this world that has the right to live. For everyone else, life is a privilege. You should have everything you want. Everything in this world exists for you, Your Majesty. And that includes me. I'm just another thing to be yours if you wish it. But, if I may be so bold, what do you think of my tail, Your Majesty? Hana told me many times that it's my most beautiful feature, but I don't think it would impress a supreme god such as yourself. Cute? Cute as in pretty? Cute as in adorable? Beautiful? Pleasant? Delightful? Charming? That sense of the word cute. Am I understanding that correctly, Your Majesty? I'm not sure I understand. But if you say my tail is cute, then it must be true. Thank you. I never thought it would catch your eye, but I always had a shred of hope that it would. Touch it? You want to touch it? Are you sure, Your Majesty? My tail is dirty, filthy, unclean. Well, not really. I clean it at least twice a day. But compared to a god it is. I'm just an icky mortal. I wouldn't want to soil your divine hand. Of course, Your Majesty. If you say I'm clean, then it must be true. Then, in that case, please go ahead and touch my tail as much as it pleases you, Your Majesty. I can't believe you're touching me. I feel your hand as I speak, but I still can't believe it. I always thought that I'm unworthy of your touch. I still believe that with all of my heart. But to think that you, the most esteemed and cherished god, are actually touching me. It's intoxicating. Nothing could get me drunker. I am beyond blessed. How many girls can boast that they were touched by a god? Especially by you. I'm unworthy, but I am incredibly grateful, Your Majesty. I have always wanted to be as close as possible to you. As close as you would tolerate through your vast mercy. Would it insult you if I said that I dreamt of this moment? Would you find it blasphemous? That I had yearned with all of my heart that one day, the one I worship might finally touch me? And what if I said that I had also dreamt of more? Would that insult you, Your Majesty? If you say so, I'm glad I didn't offend you. How, do you feel, Your Majesty? Does your hand feel okay? Are you disgusted by touching me? I wouldn't want to bother you. I know I'm just a dirty mortal, so if you're just doing this out of kindness, it would be understandable if you stopped. You're the greatest god, and I merely am a servant girl. I know. Of course, Your Majesty, if you say so. I don't know why you seem so pleased to touch my tail, but I suppose I shouldn't question my good fortune. If I may be so selfish, I would love it if it pleased you to touch it a little longer. Every day I think I can't possibly love you more than I already do, and every day without fail you prove me wrong. You truly are the greatest God. There is so much you give me, and so little that I can give to you. I often think that through my devotion to you, perhaps you will at least be flattered. That perhaps you'll at least be pleased that I am such a faithful servant to you, Your Majesty. What could I do to serve you, more faithfully? I'd do anything for you. I'd kill my family for you. I'd set myself on fire for you. I'd force everyone in this ungrateful world to bow to Your Majesty. If you asked me to, I would go out and obtain 1,000 sacrifices to you right now. Would that please you, Your Majesty? No? What about 50? Or 40? 20? 10? 1? No. Not in the mood for a little sacrifice. Oh, okay then. I'm sorry, Your Majesty. You saw right through me. I'm selfish. If I sacrifice people to you, it wouldn't be to satisfy you. It would be to satisfy myself. I told you, Your Majesty, I'm a dirty mortal. I have dirty, selfish desires like these. Fantasizing about killing people just so I could get my god's attention. You dirty, stupid, useless 𝐚𝐿. What were you thinking? Stupid, stupid, stupid! Even if I just punish myself right now, it would still just be for my own selfish satisfaction. I'm not a very good servant, am I? I know I really shouldn't question a god, but I don't see how you can really say that. I can be really selfish when it comes to my feelings towards you, Your Majesty. Do you still think I'm a good servant in spite all of that? Even if I have dirty, impure, ungrateful thoughts towards you? Forgive my blasphemy, but what I mean is, I love you, but I don't just love you like a worshiper loves a god. Do you know what I mean, Your Majesty? And is it okay for me to feel that way? Romantically. Even if you're a god and I'm a mortal? I've been beating myself up over that for so long. If only I knew earlier you were that accepting of me. It would have saved me a lot of stress. But thank you. I'm happy I know now, Your Majesty. So, I know it possibly came out as a, confession before, but let me, do it a bit more clearly. Your Majesty, if I were to confess to you, what would you say? Yes?